Peace, guys. My name is Kay, and I am a messenger of the universe. So, this video I'm going to be doing in honor of Mercury retrograde and it also ending on the 10th. I'm doing a video and I'm going to be focusing on the shadow side because I feel like shadow work is very, I guess I'll just say underrated, I guess. I feel like a lot of us in the spiritual community, at least, do not really focus on shadow work. And I feel like shadow work is like one of the most important aspects of the spirituality movement, I guess, because shadow work is very, very important. It helps us to find out who we truly are by going past or seeing past who we try to be or who we try to present ourselves to be. So what is shadow? What is our shadow self? So if you're not really familiar on shadow, who your shadow is or what your shadow is, it's basically the aspect of who you are that you are basically trying to suppress or denying or turning away from. It's basically the undesirable aspect of ourselves. And our shadow self is important for us for many, many different reasons. And this reading is going to actually give you reasons why your shadow self will be important to you. But yeah, so shadow work your shadow self is very, very important. And this is so you can get to know who your shadow self is. And you can also start to see the pattern within yourself. So you can say, you know what, this is my shadow self talking. This is not exactly me. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have 5 piles today. Pile 1, I have this blue gold stone. It's really, really sparkly. And then pile number 2, I have blue obsidian. Pile number 3 is, I believe this is pink crackly quartz, pink crackle quartz. I think that's what it's called. Pile number 4 is this green fluorite. And then number 5 is mookaite. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started and put up my pile selection. Peace. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1. This is for my viewers that chose blue goldstone, and we're going to see who your shadow self is. So I have tarot first. That's going to let me know who your shadow self is. And also, I forgot to mention this in the intro, but at the end I have a bowl, and I'm going to be seeing what archetype your shadow self might be. Actually, I'm going to do it after I pull these tarot cards first. So I'm going to go ahead and get started before I get distracted. So your shadow self, we have Mother of Wands, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Two of Cups, and lastly we have the Four of Pentacles. So I feel like right now I might be dealing with some earth signs, some heavy earth signs right now. So you could be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But who your shadow self is. I'm going to move this up a little so they can get a better view of the cards when all of them are pulled out. So I feel like your shadow self is an aspect of yourself that is very protective over you. And when I say that because the Mother of Wands here, this is basically the Queen of Wands. So I feel like your shadow self is someone that is very, okay, I'm going to talk about your shadow self as if it's another entity, but it's still a part of who you are. But for the sake of this the purpose of this reading, so you guys can understand a lot easier, I'm just going to be talking about your shadow self as if it's kind of like another entity. So your shadow self is very, someone that's very protective. And I feel like it's not just like they're protective over who they love, because I definitely feel like your shadow self definitely is protective over like what they love or who they love. But your shadow self is also very protective of you and your heart. So you might notice when you're in your shadow energy, you're going to be feeling very protective of yourself. So I feel like you could be someone that is, you kind of are the type of person to shut people out or to do things that other people may not understand, but it's just because it's out of fear of you getting hurt. Your shadow self is a part of you that just does not want you to get hurt. So it gets very protective. It probably shuts people out. It kind of holds on very tightly to your heart. I'm seeing like just someone that's I'm just seeing like you're just very protective of yourself. Like you really do not want to be hurt. And I feel like your shadow self is also a part of you that is very, what's the word? I feel like your shadow self is just like, your shadow self knows the true value of who you are, like who you are at your core. And because of that, it just gets into this protective mode. So I feel like when you guys are in your shadow energy, you guys are probably more like, you want to shut everyone out. You kind of don't want anyone to be near what you have or to touch what you have. You could be very, I'm seeing the Miser card from the Osho Zen Tarot, and it's basically like protecting what you have and maybe being a little bit too overprotective sometimes because you're just kind of holding on instead of like allowing other people to come in. So with the Two of Cups here, I'm seeing like your shadow side might be someone who, like, it's like you shut people out, but at the end of the day, you still want someone to be there, someone that you feel is like there for you, someone that is very, someone that's like caring for you, someone that takes care of you basically. So I'm seeing like your shadow side kind of puts up this front basically that it's like, I don't need anyone, I don't need you, all I need is myself, I don't want to get hurt. But at the end of the day, it's like you still want someone to love you and take care of you and cherish you. And I feel like your shadow side is also interesting with the Four of Pentacles here. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this card and I'm just reading it, and it's just really interesting. So your shadow side, I feel like your shadow self is just like, I'm getting really, really strong, like just a motherly energy. Like your shadow self is very, very motherly. And I feel like this is also giving me Queen of Swords energy, where it's very like, you can be very snappy, very like, with the attitude. Your shadow self is very, I'm just seeing like protective, especially like with your material world, like your physical world. I'm seeing like I'm just seeing like you guys might shut people out from like what you have when you're in your shadow energy, because you feel like you have something to protect and you don't want anyone to basically touch it or protect it. You're just like, don't get near me, don't touch me, don't breathe near me. And with the Four of Pentacles, this is like you basically, I feel like your shadow self can also be a stable, it just craves stability. I feel like your shadow self craves stability. So I feel like something you may notice is that you crave stability, like especially in your physical world, your material world. You crave a lot of stability, especially like I'm seeing emotional stability as well as like financial, material stability, because I feel like you probably did not deal with stability in your past life or in your childhood, and that's why you kind of crave like a connection with someone else in your shadow energy, like craving that, like that deep connection with someone, as well as just wanting to protect what you have, because I feel like you are very, very valuable. You create something of value, and your shadow self knows this and wants to protect it, and that's why you kind of tend to want to shut people out. So okay, so I have the Osho Zen Tarot, and this is going to tell me what, here it is. It's what you learn from your shadow, what your shadow self is basically teaching you, what these aspects of yourself are teaching you. So exhaustion. So it's right under the Mother of Wands, and I feel like this is basically your shadow self is teaching you to not overwhelm yourself over like just giving yourself too much to handle, because I feel like you guys, again, like with the protective energy, you guys probably take on too much than you can actually handle, and it leads to you guys going through this exhaustion. Maybe you guys are like taking care, I can see you guys also taking care of others more than you're taking care of yourself, and it leads to this exhaustion because you're just like, it's like you're taking care of everyone else except for yourself. Courage. So your shadow self is also teaching you to be brave and to have courage to take care of yourself specifically, because I'm seeing like there's a flower here in this courage card, and this is basically saying like you gotta have to, under all this pressure that you're in, under all this exhaustion and this protectiveness and this like fire, like just this need, I feel like it's just like a need to protect something. Sometimes you have to let things go in order for them to bloom, you know, like when they say like if you see a beautiful flower and you pick it, that's like you're leading that flower towards its death. But if you genuinely cared or loved that flower, then you would like go outside, take care of it, give it water, make sure it has enough sun, make sure it's, you know, taken care of every day, instead of just cutting it and cutting its life short literally by doing so. And with the turning in, I'm seeing sometimes you guys might rely on other people in order to like fix, in quotation marks, fix what you have going on. But the goal here is for you to turn inward and to listen to yourself when you get into this exhaustion and this energy of like feeling like you need stability or you need someone to be there for you. I feel like you guys kind of have to learn to be there for yourself, because I'm hearing you guys also could be Aquariuses, okay? So if you're an Aquarius watching this, I feel like you guys definitely, if you guys think you need like a relationship or love, or it doesn't even have to be a relationship, but just like a connection with someone else to help you feel complete or whole. And I feel like this is your shadow aspect that's confusing you or telling you that you need this or you feel that way. But in reality, it's just you're like you just needing to turn in. So if you feel like, wow, I need someone in my life, it's really you need to turn into yourself and figure out what you truly want, because you think that hole is there, and it's there because you need someone to fill it in, but there's something else that's missing that you need to look for, instead of, you know, looking outwardly for things. So with patience here, I'm also seeing like you guys need to be more patient with yourself and be more understanding. I want to show you guys this card, the patience. So you guys have to be a little bit, I feel like you guys should be more mothering to yourself more than anything, especially with the Mother of Wands. I'm seeing you guys are very, very protective, especially when it comes to people you love. Your shadow self is like very protective over you, especially like your heart. I feel like your heart is very sacred, and you also are very you have something to offer. I'm seeing like with career, especially like with your career and what you do, what you're passionate about, what you love, I feel like it's something that's very valued by other people. So your shadow self is basically trying to protect that aspect of you sometimes, but I feel like it could be a little bit too overprotective, and you might end up missing opportunities because you kind of feel like you have to hold on to what you have, or you're too afraid to put yourself out there sometimes, and that fear might cause you to not really put yourself out there and to step into this energy of courage, okay? Your shadow self is teaching you to be more courageous in your life and to step out of your fears and to step out of being exhausted and overworking yourself, especially for other people's needs. If you're compromising yourself for others, your shadow self is teaching you to not do that. So, and this tarot here is basically going, actually I'm going to get to this last. So I think I'm going to pull first what your shadow self archetype could be. And again, this is a general reading, so this may not apply for all of you. All of these aspects, all of these archetypes may not apply to you. Some of them may, but we're going to see. I'm going to shuffle it and I'm going to see which ones want to come out, but I'm not even focused. Hold on. Okay. So what is group number 1's shadow self archetype? What is the shadow self archetype like? Okay, I have a lot coming out. What is the shadow self archetype? And there's also 13 archetypes. So I'm going to see which ones come out. Hopefully we get a lot of doubles, because I don't want to read like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different archetypes. So let's see, we have, okay, this doesn't surprise me. We have the cowardly archetype. And this definitely goes hand in hand with the courage, because I'm going to stick it on the wall so that I can see it. Because with the courage here, again, I'm telling you, your shadow self is basically teaching you to have more courage and to step out of a fear-based mindset. We also have immature. So your shadow archetype could be immature as well. Let's see what else we have. Untrustworthy. Okay. Wrathful. Ooh, wow, we have a lot of different ones. So again, like, all of these archetypes may not resonate for all of you guys, but this is a collective general reading, so whoever this resonates for, this is for you. So we have neurotic, and lastly we have another untrustworthy. Another untrustworthy. So we have double untrustworthy. We have neurotic, cowardly, immature, wrathful, and untrustworthy. I think I already said that. Cowardly, yeah. So I'm gonna read off the archetypes so that you guys can have an idea of what this means for you. Whoa. Gotta get this. Okay, so I have a notebook, and this is basically going to give me some details on the different archetypes that we have here. Sorry, I'm taking. Okay, so let's see. The neurotic shadow. I'm going to start there. So it says the neurotic shadow traits are paranoia, obsessiveness, suspiciousness, finicky, demanding, compulsive behavior. The untrustworthy shadow is secretive, impulsive, frivolous, irresponsible, deceitful, and unreliable. The wrathful shadow is ruthless, vengeful, bitchy, quick-tempered, and quarrelsome. And we also have the immature shadow, which is childish, illogical, simple-minded, and vacuous. And then lastly, the cowardly shadow is weak-willed, passive, timid, and fearful. So out of all these archetypes, I'm definitely seeing how the cowardly shadow can come into play here, because with the courage card, this is just definitely telling me, like, your shadow self is teaching you to be more courageous in your life. And with the immature, I can see the immature shadow coming in for the Two of Cups and the turning in, because in a way I do see it as like being childish or immature to look for someone else to help you feel complete or whole, because you're not going to find completeness or wholeness on looking for someone else to, you know, complete you or make you feel whole. You have to find that within yourself, and that's why you guys have to turn in when you feel this need to find someone else to make you feel complete. You guys, that's basically your soul telling you, hey, it's time for you to turn in to figure out like what's happening on the inside, instead of, you know, just saying, you know what, maybe I need a boyfriend, or I need a friend, or I mean, not saying you guys don't need a friend, but, you know, just relying on them in order to feel complete or whole. So this is the angel meditation cards are going to tell me what traits that your shadow self are helping you to embody, basically. So we have spontaneity. I choose to be spontaneous in my interactions with life. So your shadow self is also bringing out the spontaneous aspect of yourself. So basically the part of you I feel like this goes into play with the courage card. Like when you're feeling that fear, you know it, just finally just going, you know what, F it, I'm gonna just go for it. So we have the angel of partnership. Again, that does not surprise me. And I'm going to read it says, each one I meet is my partner in the here and now of life. So your shadow self is teaching you to be more, to find partnerships in your life that are like worth your time, worth your effort, worth your energy. Because I feel like when you're in that shadow energy looking for love, you're going to find things that are not what you want at all. So when you decide to turn in, you're going to figure out what it is that is, what it's truly missing, what you're truly feeling a lack in, because it's not specifically looking for someone else. So I feel like with the partnership, your shadow aspect is basically showing you what you genuinely want out of love by sifting through what you don't want, okay? So we also have the angel of love. Again, like this is teaching you to find genuine love and not just, you know, I'm feeling this bad, I'm feeling really sad, so I'm gonna find someone that's gonna make me not feel sad anymore. And then, you know, like that's type of energy, looking for things in that type of vibration, it's not gonna last. It's only gonna be temporary. And again, the angel of union. So I feel like your shadow self is basically trying to teach you to find some genuine partnerships, some genuine love. Because I feel like in your shadow energy, you guys are kind of burning yourself out, looking for things outwardly instead of turning inwardly. And I feel like when you do turn inwardly, you are going to find everything that you want. You're going to find that love, you're going to find that companionship, you're going to find the feeling that you're kind of searching for outwardly. And you're also going to be learning to be more patient with yourself, especially. I feel like you guys should be more mothering to yourself, being more gentle and kind to yourself as well. And with the Four of Pentacles, again, that stability energy. So this is basically how you can integrate your shadow self. So when you integrate your shadow self, it's basically you are accepting of who you are, including the aspects that you don't genuinely agree with or you don't like about yourself. So this is going to be telling me how you can integrate this and heal this. So with the Queen of Swords reversed, this is telling me, I'm seeing there's a need for you to stand up for yourself more, to kind of, I don't want to say stand up for yourself more. It's more of like really facing your fears. I feel like for you guys, facing your fears is kind of like a spontaneous type of energy. Like you guys need to be like, you know what? I'm really scared of this. Instead of focusing on, you know, I'm really scared. Say, you know what? I'm just going to do it and just see what happens. Like to kind of step into that energy in order to face your fears and be more courageous. But I'm also seeing here, you guys kind of, I'm seeing you guys can be very like, you know, like when you have an attitude, basically, you guys want, like you're kind of cold towards the world or to yourself, whatever that means for you guys. And I feel like this is kind of telling you, in order to step out of that energy, you have to be able to see the situation from a new, different perspective. If you have to ask someone for another opinion, a second opinion, but again, you have to remember, you have to ask for an opinion outside of yourself and also get one inside of yourself. See how you feel about a situation, see how another person feels about it, and see how you can weigh those two. And when you're asking that person, make sure it's someone that's not a snake or someone that's not in your shadow energy, someone that you didn't look for in that shadow energy. It's someone that you genuinely trust. So the Eight of Swords, you have to be able to see past the victimization you put yourself in as well, I'm seeing. Because I feel like in your shadow energy, you may want to victimize yourself a lot. You may want to kind of, I feel like you guys kind of ignore the signs in your shadow energy. You guys, in order to integrate it, you have to be able to be willing to see the signs when they come to you instead of just ignoring the red flags when you see them originally. Like you guys have to be able to literally, like, you know, say like, this is the sign that I'm seeing, and you know, I'm not feeling very confident about going into this situation with this person. And that's your intuition telling you, hey, it's time to not. I'm seeing lots of air energy too. Sorry, I just had to say that. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I already said Aquarius, but there's a lot of air energy in here too, because there's all of these are swords. So there's a lot of there's a lot of sword energy. So this also has to do with communication. So how you communicate with yourself and others. I feel like in your shadow energy, you might be a little bit cold, a little bit distant, and towards those you love, you might be a little bit more obsessive or protective over them. But with the Seven of Swords here in reverse, I'm also seeing, also all of these cards are in reverse. Thought I should say that as well. So I'm also seeing your shadow self is also in, in order to integrate your shadow self, you have to be willing to put your guard down, let your guard down, and be open towards letting people in and communicating with others about how you feel, what you're going through. Because I know I did say you guys have to turn in, and that's very true, but again, you have to be willing to talk to people. It doesn't, just keep in mind, talking to someone, you don't need like a boyfriend or a girlfriend to talk to really open up to someone. You can have a friend or a parent or someone that you just genuinely trust that you can open up to. It doesn't always have to be a boyfriend, or, you know, because that person's not going to always be there. You can't just have one person be your crutch, because that person is not going to always be there. You have to give yourself multiple outlets to turn to. You can't just say, I just need this person to help me heal. You have to heal yourself. And then again, with the Ten of Swords in reverse, you guys have to be able to step out of that victimhood energy, because I know it's very easy for us to want to victimize ourselves and say, this happened to me and I'm going to continue suffering from it. You know, you don't want to be in that victimhood energy, because that's just going to put you in that low vibrational energy, and it's going to cause you to not be able to integrate your shadow self. So if you want to integrate and heal your shadow self, you have to be willing to accept, you know, like, this is how I feel when I'm in my shadow energy, but I don't have to act according to this shadow energy. And in order for you to heal and integrate your shadow self into your waking life, you have to see how does your shadow self serve you? You know, it's showing you what true love is. It's showing you what genuine partnership is. It's showing you how to step past your fears. It's showing you how to connect with people that are very loving to you, and also teaching you to be patient with yourself and others, and to not victimize yourself, and to step out of this energy. It's kind of telling you, like, you can feel sad, you can feel like a victim, but it's up to you how long you choose to stay in that energy. Okay, group number 1, that's all I'm getting for you guys. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. My name is Kay, and hopefully I can catch you at the end of this video. Peace. Hello to the beautiful viewers that selected pile number 2 with the blue obsidian. I literally just bought this online. Oh my gosh. The YouTuber that I got the Osho Zen Tarot off of, and this crystal, her name is Miria. Oh my gosh, her name is Miria, and I saw this crystal in her video, and I was like, I have to get that crystal. So I literally like ordered it online, and it came a couple days later. I got it off of Mystic. I can't remember what it's called. I'm just gonna drop it in the little text thing, but yeah, it's really pretty. It looks like ice. This is like for psychic healing and psychic protection, so I already know a lot of my psychics chose this pile, this group. So let's see what's going on. So who is your shadow side? So we have, I knew this was gonna come out for someone. Of course, this is my pile number 2s. We have the 3 of Swords. Ooh, that card. We have the 6 of Wands. Yeah, the 6 of Wands. Okay, yeah. This card doesn't have any of the, I don't know if I'm going to show the cards too. Okay. Let's see what we got going on. The 4 of Swords. I can't read Roman numerals that well. Like, I know the pattern and I understand it, but it still takes me a minute. This is the 7 of Wands. Wow. Oh, child, this group. So who is your shadow side? Your shadow side, wow. First of all, your shadow side has been through a lot. Your shadow side, like, I'm seeing past lives where you've been deeply hurt and deeply scarred. And I'm hearing some of you guys know about it. Some of you guys know about the dark shit that happened in your past life. Like, you know what I'm talking about. But I feel like it's not just that past life. Look, I'm seeing, like, even in your past, you have been hurt. Like, I'm seeing like children being taken away. I'm just seeing like a lot of family things. Like, I feel like with the family, there's a lot of things, especially with children, like your inner child has probably been deeply hurt, I'm seeing. So I feel like this is probably a pattern that's been happening in your life for like, it's like happened in past lives. And it's like so your shadow side is just hurt. I'm seeing like there's a very dark hurt side, and I feel like this side, I feel like you're not acknowledging how hurt it is, and how it really needs deep healing. Like it needs to be acknowledged. A lot of you need to go through a lot of shadow work. Like I'm hearing shadow work is very, very, very important for this pile. You guys need to do some, like, you guys just, I feel like you guys go through your darkness in order to find the light, because I'm seeing the butterfly here for the transformation. You guys are meant to change. You guys are meant to go through a deep transformation after you go through this deep hurt or this deep sorrow, this deep depression, whatever this meant for you. You went through that to turn into this butterfly. You see, like you went through all of that crap in order to emerge and become who you are today. You were meant to grow and to find your passion and find what you love. Like I'm hearing, like a lot of you are artists, creative people. I'm hearing you guys just have special talents and abilities, like psychic massagists. I'm hearing like masseuses and like Reiki masters, psychic healers, psychic mediums. I'm hearing like a lot of you are mediums, and I feel like you guys are very, very talented. You guys have found, like, you guys follow your heart space. You guys feel, when you guys found your heart space, you knew it was your heart space because you had been through like the complete opposite of it. You have been through like literal hell, and now you know what it really feels like to be like, I'm hearing like you guys are very grateful. Like you guys have a lot of gratitude for what you have. Okay, like your shadow side is like the part of you that is holding on to this. I feel like your shadow side is just holding on to this hurt, because I feel like you have really like transformed. Like a lot of this isn't even like shadow energy, but I feel like your shadow side, I feel like it's like you have to find a balance between both of these energies here. And so we have the four of swords. So I'm hearing you guys could be a lot of Gemini moons, Gemini suns too, but air energy in general, and also fire energy coming through strong, Aries, Sag, Leo. But with the Four of Swords here, I'm seeing you guys are meant to communicate something. You guys are meant to like speak your truth about something. You guys are meant to, it's like you guys are meant to just be someone that has a lot of power with what they say. Like I feel like you guys have a very innocent type of energy. You guys are just meant to be very like authoritative. I'm just hearing like you guys are very like, it's like you're childish, but not in a bad way. Like it's like you're just so in tune with your inner child that you know what you want, and you can communicate your truth so beautifully to people. Or I feel like people want to hear your truth. I'm hearing some of you guys are into like writing books or becoming authors, like doing blog posts and vlogs and stuff, and like just basically sharing your life with the world, the good and the bad. I feel like your shadow stuff is you accepting that there's bad in your life, and you can't really change that. You can't change what happened, but you can change who you are today and how you handle it. So I'm like, you guys, I'm just seeing such like virgin energy. So it's like, it's very pure and very innocent. Like you guys are meant to just, I'm hearing some of you could even be nuns. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. But like, I'm just seeing like people that just are like committed to God or committed to something. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like you guys just really, I feel like you guys want to live a life of solitude, because I feel like, it's like, I know I'm supposed to be talking about your shadow side, but your energy is just coming through so strong, because with what is this, Seven of Wands? The Seven of Wands is like that spark of hope you have, that spark of that light in the darkness. It's like you're meant to find the light in the darkness. So I feel like your shadow side is you basically fighting the darkness, if that makes sense. Like you guys might notice you go through periods of fighting the darkness, and it's like you're meant to find hope and light in that darkness. You're meant to start, it's like you're in the dark and you have a match and you're trying to light it, and before you would just not even acknowledge that you had a match and a lighter, you would just sit in the darkness and just, be sorrowful and like a victim. And now it's like you're trying to spark the match in order to become a light. So maybe you're like trying healthier ways to cope with this darkness, or balancing out how you handle it, because you're meant to like follow this spark of hope and follow this happiness in your life. You're meant to be someone who's very well respected and very I'm seeing like some of you guys are just very pretty. Like you're very beautiful, you're very like magnetic to people, very charming. And with the Seven of Wands, like you guys are meant to find hope in the darkness. Okay, so I feel like some of you guys might be like, man, I'm so tired of fighting the darkness, it keeps coming back, it never goes away. But I feel like that's a part of your shadow self that you have to accept in a way. It's like you have to be willing to acknowledge, like, there is a dark side to me, okay? There's a dark side to everyone. I'm human. I'm not perfect, you know? So, what time? 8 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. So, next I have, I don't know why I said that so loud, but, so the Osho Zen Tarot. Oh my gosh. So this group, when I was shuffling, I was trying to take out 4 cards for each one, and your group had the most cards come out because Spirit was like, y'all need to hear this, okay? Y'all need to hear this message. But the Osho Zen Tarot is going to tell me what you are learning from your shadow self, even though I kind of told you guys. Like, again, the Master. Look at this. This is you guys. You guys are literally like, I'm just hearing like you guys are just like some gurus and stuff. Really like ascended master energy. I feel like ascended master energy probably follows you throughout your life. So like people like Buddha, Jesus, whoever that is to you. But I just feel a lot of ascended master energy around you. Like you guys are very wise. You guys have a lot of wisdom. Like you guys are very extremely wise. And I feel like you do get a lot of downloads of knowledge. Like you'll just notice you'll get random things that you just know. You're just like, I don't know how I know this, but I know it because you know that clairsentience, I think. I'm pretty sure it's clairsentience. Yeah, that clairsentience energy. And you guys are just very, like, you guys are meant to learn a lot through the darkness, basically. Like, you guys go through this deep darkness to see the light of it and to be more knowledgeable in life. I feel like that's how you gain your wisdom, by going through these dark periods and gaining knowledge from it. And I feel like you're also learning to realize, like, the world isn't what it presents itself to be. So I feel like the Matrix may be, you know what I mean by the Matrix, like the system, the whole, like, government, whatever, all that jazz is, it's like you're supposed to see through that, basically, and you're supposed to be discerning, basically, of who you, not just of who you let around you, but who you're exposing your energy to. Like, I feel like politics may even be significant for some of you. You guys might even be like lawyers and activists. And I feel like some of you guys are meant to kind of, it's like I feel like it's just, this is telling me you just see the world. Like when you look at the world, you see the masks that people put up in front of you. You're just like it's like hard for you to ignore the fact that you know who they are deep down. Like I feel like this is like, you guys probably have a gift of discerning people because you like have been through a lot of people that have been like very snakish and hateful and deceiving in your past. Even I'm hearing past lives, you guys dealt with that, and that's how you develop this gift or this ability to be able to see past the society, or what people tell you to do, or who people tell you to be, or who people trying to show themselves to be. So I also feel like here, you guys, your shadow side is also teaching you to be silent, teaching you to kind of be more receptive to learning information, because being more receptive is also giving you the gift of being able to have these downloads of information and to learn these things, because you guys are very like psychic, which doesn't surprise me because this is the Blue Obsidian group. So I really feel like this group, you guys, like, when you guys meditate, I feel like meditation is very, very important for you guys. You guys like really have to learn to meditate, because I feel like that's kind of your self-discipline mode. For a lot of you, that's kind of how you just silence yourself, your mind a lot, because I feel like you guys probably do deal with anxiety, depression, all those crappy things. But you guys are meant to kind of meditate and like listen to like your body, basically, your whatever is coming through, just to kind of be more receptive to getting information rather than creating the information yourself. Because I feel like a lot of you could be creative people, like creating things, so you create things a lot in your head, but you aren't allowing yourself to be receptive to hearing the ideas that the universe wants to give to you, because I do feel like you are a channel for creative energy. And let's see what we have next. We have trust next. You guys are meant to trust in this lifetime, or at least learn to be trustful because of this. I feel like you went through this dark period because someone helped me get through this. I didn't just get out of this for no reason, like there's a bigger force or a higher force that's out there that's guiding you like this, and that's helping you get through these things. And wow, this group, like, your energy is so strong. Ciao. You guys are just really meant to trust. It's like you go through this dark period to realize, like, I didn't get through this. Like, I had to have some help from some other side in order to get through that. And so that's why that's how I feel like that's how you learn to trust, because you realize, like, I'm not in this alone. I know that there's a higher force out there, and I can trust it. I can trust in the unknown. I can kind of allow myself to fall because I know I'm going to be able to fly, you know? And oh my gosh, guys, you got the success card. Let me show you guys this. I really want you guys to see this card. This is like you on top of the world. I feel like you guys are meant to be successful, like very successful in getting through your shadow work. I feel like shadow work is just very important for you guys. I feel like for you guys, there's probably a lot of subconscious blocks, things you don't even know about, especially if you aren't aware of your past lives where you've been hurt or deeply, cutted, or why did I say, is that a word, cutted? Or you've been deeply cut. So you don't really understand how it's really affecting you in this lifetime. So I feel like past life stuff may be very big for you guys, and you guys have to learn to like integrate it and heal it. And so I feel like you guys really go through like really dark night of the age periods in order to come back like with more knowledge and be like, you know what, I learned something from that. It's a lot of things here. I really don't want it to fall off. Okay, so last we have suppression. Again, I feel like you guys probably suppress a lot of things inside of you guys, like this is like you guys bottling up your emotions, kind of holding things in. I feel like you guys probably doubt who you are or what you can do, and I feel like this is something that you're going to be dealing with in your shadow self, things that you notice you're having a hard time dealing with the world or dealing with yourself, or you're just holding in your emotions. You don't know how to express it. You don't know how to be yourself. You don't really know how to truly be you yet. And I feel like you're meant to emerge from this and become successful because of it. And I feel like you guys have a story that the world would want to hear. Okay. Let's see. Where are the next cards? I'm at 14 minutes. That's not that bad. Okay. I'm going to see what traits. I'm going to see. I bet healing. If healing is in here, I'm not going to be surprised. But this is going to tell me what traits have evolved as a result of your shadow work or your shadow self. So the angel of sharing, in my temple of silence, all is added to me as I consume with my soul. This is telling me gratitude. You guys are meant to learn gratitude because of the dark things you've been through. You know how it is to be like on the bottom. So even when you do have things, you're not meant to be like cocky or arrogant about it. You're meant to still remain humble and be gracious because of it. Because you're like, I can't take what I have for granted. So I feel like your shadow self may be taking things for granted and maybe kind of being a little bit ungrateful for what is already there or what has happened. So I feel like you're meant to learn to be more gracious because of what you've been through, basically. The angel of positivity doesn't surprise me. My mind is filled with positive thoughts that nourish and heal my life. So you guys are meant to remain positive. Focus on the positive things in life. You're not meant to remain focused on the negative things. You don't have to focus on what could be or what could happen. You guys are meant to be more discerning because you know how it is. Like if you're really negative and then you manifest negative things into your life, but when you're really positive, you manifest positive things into your life, and you want to be focused on the positive things. So your shadow self is teaching you to stay positive, basically. So again, like you guys, that means you guys have been through like really, really crappy negativity. So it's like whatever you experience on a positive aspect is like as a result of what you've experienced on the negative aspect. Like you know the balance of both worlds, so you know how to you know better when it comes, basically. So the angel of care, I am filled with joys. I care for people and things in all of nature. So I love this. I'm hearing you guys are probably environmentalists or into the environment and taking care of the earth and fighting climate change, things like that. Like you guys are meant to take care of the world as well. I feel like you guys are building a new world into being, and you guys are creating more of like a happy, positive, and like taking care of the world type of energy into the world, because I feel like you guys have seen people that have been completely crapping on the earth, not doing anything to help it, and you guys want to be different. You guys want to take care of the world and send out more positivity instead of negativity. The angel of faith, I have an unshakable faith in my inner power of my soul. So you guys are meant to listen to the inner voice inside of you. You guys are meant to follow your heart, follow your faith, follow what you truly believe in, okay? And I feel like that's because you've been through the complete opposite, and you know what it's like to not feel that way. But you guys are meant to have a very strong faith in this lifetime. Again, I'm hearing my nuns coming through. So if you're a nun and you're watching this, hi, or you're interested in nunnery, if that's even a word, but yeah, that would be cool. So we have the angel of truth. So it says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, John 14:6. So again, my Christians are coming through. Hey y'all. But I feel like yeah, I feel like you guys are meant to see the world from a different way. You guys aren't meant to really focus on the negative aspect, and I feel like in your lifetime you're probably noticing a pattern where you're fighting against basically people that are kind of telling you to look at it a certain way, and it's kind of more negative to you, or you kind of feel like you shouldn't follow that way, but it's like other people are kind of like, I can't even think of the word to say, but it's basically like you guys are meant to change your perspective on the world, I guess. So yeah, I think that's it for that one. And then lastly, we have, this is how you integrate and heal your shadow self. This is what you have to do to heal and basically transform. So we have the Magician in reverse, but I feel like it should be upright. So I'm going to put it upright. I feel like I did accidentally flip it. Probably did, but anyway, you guys are meant to kind of manifest your world into being. So again, this kind of is like going into that belief part, and it's literally right under the Master, and the cards literally look like it's like the feminine, the masculine energy. So I feel like you guys are probably balancing out your feminine and your masculine energies in this lifetime, and I feel like balance is very strong. It's always going to be strong throughout your lifetime, because you guys, I feel like you guys are very powerful. You guys are very magical, and you work with energy. So you guys have to be very discerning of the energy you work with and the energy that you're also sending out, because if you send out negative energy, then it's going to come back to you. And that really does come back to you, because you guys can surround yourself with like a lot of negative energy or a lot of positive energy, but it just depends on you and like how much you balance it out, you know? So you guys are meant to basically manifest whatever you want into your life, I guess. Like manifest the world that you want. And you do that by creating the life that you want around you. So I feel like the law of attraction works really well for you guys. Oh my God, I'm sorry if that was loud, but you guys got the Sun. This is the ultimate happiness card. Literally, the Sun is like, I love this card. This is my favorite card in all of my tarot decks. This is my favorite Sun card. But this is like ultimate happiness and freedom. You guys are meant to kind of like chill and be, I'm seeing like you guys probably entrepreneurs, CEOs too. You guys kind of want to just step away from society and just kind of live your own world and create a beautiful world around you, and try to create a beautiful world for everyone else to the extent that you can. But you guys are meant to kind of find happiness in this life too. But again, it's because you've experienced extreme darkness. You guys know what it's like to be on both sides of the scale, you know? Okay, again, my entrepreneurs, my bosses, my business, you guys are probably like really into business, or you guys want to start your own business. This Emperor energy is like my Aries are coming through too. If you're in Aries, this is definitely your group. This is like extra confirmation. There's way too much passion, way too much fire energy, and I picked this pile myself, and I'm in Aries. So we're like, this is like that big boss energy, you know? So you guys are meant to kind of be on top, be authoritative. And I don't mean authoritative in a bad way, but you guys have a positive influence on the world, and you want to create a positive influence. And the thing is, you could actually step into your shadow self, could be you kind of not being arrogant too. Because I feel like sometimes you guys might be a little bit too prideful, especially if you're my Aries. You guys are probably prideful. And again, you can be prideful without realizing it. And, you know, you got to accept that. You got to be like, you know what, sometimes I can be a little bit too prideful. I need to kind of chill on my high horse. But 9 of Wands. So this is like, you guys are meant to like, what's the word? You guys aren't meant to like, I'm going to pull this card because it's going to give me a clarification. So we have the 5 of Swords. Okay. So I feel like you guys are kind of, you're meant to stand up for yourself, right? But again, with the Emperor here, this is telling me your pride might get in the way, so you might do it in a chaotic way. So you kind of might have to learn to assert yourself in a way that is positive for yourself and others, and you notice it leads to more positive results rather than negative results. So I feel like this group, you guys are kind of meant to work with the world instead of working against it sometimes, because I feel like sometimes you might feel like the world is completely against you. Again, that prideful energy might be a little bit too much on your high horse. You think no one can touch you type thing. But I feel like you can work. It's like it's okay to give back. It's okay to give back to the world. It's okay to help others and to, you know, be there for other people. And with the 5 of Swords here, you guys are meant to make a change in this world. You guys are meant to make a difference. I feel like your story might be very important for people. You guys might be very, very intuitive. You guys might also have knowledge that people want to listen to or people are attracted to. You guys probably are very attractive. But yeah, I feel like people want to listen to you guys. People want to hear what you guys have to say. So you shouldn't have to feel like you have to be silent about what you have to say. And lastly, I have my archetype card. So this is going to tell me the archetypes of your shadow self, guys. We're going to see what cards or what sticky notes come out can tell me what is this group's shadow self archetype like. What is this group shadow self archetype like? What is group number 2 shadow self archetype? Ooh, okay. I didn't even mean to do that, but nothing is a coincidence. So we have untrustworthiness, okay? I'm going to read about them in just a second, and I'll probably leave it up on the screen too so you guys can read it yourself. We have neurotic. Ooh, doesn't surprise me, guys. Again, I'm saying you guys have been through like Dark Night of the Age type energy, okay? So we also have controlling. That, especially my Aries, y'all. Y'all really want control of the outcome, okay? I know you guys do, but sometimes you got to just let it happen. Egotistical, again, Aries energy. My fire energy in general, all my fire signs. Glib. So I'm going to read the different archetypes so you guys can see the different archetypes your shadow self might portray, or when you embody these traits, you'll kind of know, like, this is kind of my shadow self coming through. So it is untrustworthiness. The untrustworthy shadow is secretive, impulsive, frivolous, irresponsible, deceitful, and unreliable. The neurotic shadow is paranoid, obsessive, suspicious, finicky, demanding, and compulsive. Compulsive coming through, I think. That word came through twice. But let's see, what else do we have? Controlling shadow is suspicious, jealous, possessive, bossy, and obsessive. Ooh, I'm seeing my Aries, y'all. That's probably, some of y'all need to work on that. We have, oh, egotistical is the first one. I ignored it. Okay, so the egotistical shadow is arrogant, Aries, egocentricity, pompousness, inconsiderateness, self-indulgence, narcissism, excessive pride. Okay. And we also have the glib shadow, which is superficial, cunning, sly, crafty, and inconsistent. Okay. So that's your shadow archetype, guys. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. If you would like to book a private reading with me, my information is in I can't even talk. It's in the description box, and it has all my prices and the email and all that info. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. We are learning to let go and let flow. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace. Hello to the beautiful people that selected pile number 3. No, Luna. Sit. So, if you chose pink crackle quartz, this is going to be your reading. Ooh, okay. So, who is your shadow self? We're going to start off with the tarot, which is going to give us some info on who your shadow self is. So, we have the Daughter of Cups, also the Princess of Cups, right? Yeah, Princess of Cups, or the Knight, or Page, I think. So, wow, we have the Star. This is one of my favorite cards. The Tower. Ooh. And then we also have the Two of Swords. Okay, group number 3. Wow, these cards fell. Who is your shadow self? So, what's the word? So I feel like your shadow is someone that is, when I say someone, this is like technically you, but it's like your shadow. So I'm kind of talking about it as if it's a separate entity. So the shadow in this group is basically, I'm seeing stubbornness, first of all. I'm seeing when you guys are in your shadow energy, you guys are you can be quite stubborn, okay? And I feel like in your shadow energy, you can also be quite destructive. And the reason why I say this is because we have the Tower here, but I also see the Daughter of Cups. So this is telling me that you guys do a lot of feeling. So I feel like a lot of you that pick this group are empaths. You guys are very like, you know, you're probably highly sensitive. You know, you feel a lot of things and you feel a lot of emotions. So I feel like when you're in your shadow energy, you kind of get into a mode of like, it's almost like explosion, like things kind of just bursting out of you. Luna, what are you doing? She's just like sitting here. So when you're in your shadow energy, I do see destruction. Like, not like, I just see like you guys kind of like, when you explode, it's like get out of my way. Get out of my path. You don't want to see me when I'm angry. So I'm feeling a lot of you may be like Leos in this group. So with the star here, this is actually pretty interesting. I'm not really getting a lot of messages from the star that I feel is for this group. So I'm going to wait until I pull more cards. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can read this really quickly. Okay, so I feel like in your shadow energy, you may feel like people don't understand you or people don't really know who you are. So I feel like in your shadow energy, your shadow feels misunderstood. It feels like no one understands them. I feel like you are very compassionate as well. So when people take advantage of that, it really hits you different, you know, when people like take advantage of your kindness or they try to portray you in a different light of like, that's like, you don't like to be shown as someone who's like destructive or someone who's like rude to people. Like, you don't like to have a negative self-image to others because you know that you're very kind-hearted. So I'm also feeling some Pisces energy from here and also Scorpio, but again, water energy in general. So we have postponement. I'm going to show you guys the cards. This card hardly ever comes out. Hardly ever. Postponement, so beyond illusion. Healing. And clinging to the past. So I'm seeing that your shadow energy, I feel like you guys are probably doing a lot of shadow work, or at least shadow work is very significant to you. I feel like this group could have also been attracted to pile number 2, which is blue obsidian. And if you're a psychic, I do recommend that pile for you. If you're my psychics or you kind of felt drawn to pile number 2, I feel like you guys should watch that. But going back to here, with the postponement card, I'm seeing when you guys are in your shadow energy, I feel like you kind of lose sight of what's really around you. Like, I'm seeing like you guys might get into like little depressive episodes, and I feel like you guys have a creative outlet that you guys kind of turn to, maybe writing, poetry, painting, whatever that means to you. And I feel like you kind of see less colors in life when you're in your shadow energy. At least your shadow kind of sees things from a less colorful perspective, probably sees things as like, this is right or wrong, this is bad or good. It doesn't see the world as very colorful or very, you know, detailed and mysterious, I guess, like mysterious universe that we live in. So when I see beyond illusion, this is kind of taking me back to the postponement energy, which is kind of like you guys, I feel like it takes a lot for you guys to see through your shadow energy, because I feel like you guys kind of have attached yourself to your shadow self. So you kind of, like, you guys kind of have a hard time seeing beyond your shadow self when you are in shadow energy, especially if you do turn into the destructive energy, then it's kind of hard for you to see the light, you know, like you just like, you know what, I just need to do something. I need to let this emotions out, because I do feel like you do feel things strongly. So when you feel anger or sadness or things on the low end of the spectrum, you do feel them very strongly. So I feel like that's why you do have to do a lot of healing. I feel like a lot of past energy may be surrounding you. Like, you might notice like a lot of things from the past surfacing up constantly. And this could be like a constant thing throughout your lifetime where you just notice like past things, and it's like hard for you to let go of the past. But I feel like this is a part of your shadow energy, and what you have to learn to do is letting go of the past, letting go of the shadow energy, letting go of the energies that are holding you back or keeping you from moving forward, or making you feel like you're in this postponement energy where you're not really moving forward. Because I do feel like you guys have gifts. I'm seeing like group number 2 is more like spiritual psychic gifts, but this group is more of like, I'm seeing more creative talent, creative energy type of gifts. Okay. So I feel like this group, you guys do have a lot of gifts and you're very creative. Like, you guys have that creative imagination. So we're going to see what traits your shadow self brings to the table for you. Like, what traits your shadow self has helped you evolve or will help you evolve if you haven't done shadow work. So we have the angel of obedience. I follow my soul's guidance day by day. This doesn't surprise me. I feel like this is definitely kind of teaching you to be more like self-disciplined within yourself and kind of following your path and being true to your path and always staying true to your path despite what's going on, whether it be internal or external, not letting those things determine like, you know what, I'm still on the right path. You know, I can still have a positive mindset even if I feel my shadow energy looming over me. So we have the angel of integrity, and it says, the integrity of my being I experience and express the dance of my life. Again, with that dance energy, I feel like there's a lot of creative energy here. Like you guys are dancers, artists, creativists, innovative people. So I feel like you guys are very determined to get what you have to do done when you're not in your shadow energy, and that is the result of you knowing who you are in your shadow energy. We also have the angel of compassion. Again, as I was saying with the daughter of cups here, you and I are one. You guys are very compassionate. Your shadow energy has helped you develop more compassion for yourself and others as well. When it says the angel of health, my whole being is healthy and filled with energy of love. So I feel like you guys might be focused on health as well. You guys might even be into like working out, going to the gym, being like a trainer and stuff like that. I feel like your health is very important. Like you might notice you lean towards eating healthier foods. You might be interested in going vegan. I feel like when you are taking care of yourself, you notice your health gets better. So I feel like when you're in your shadow energy, you might fall back on your health, or you might be less focused on your health and kind of, you know, not out of balance with that. But I feel like when you are not in your shadow energy, you're more focused on your health and taking care of yourself and making sure you're okay, which ties into with this compassion card here. You guys are very, very extremely compassionate. And I feel like in your shadow energy, it's kind of funny because you can actually be, it's not that you're not compassionate in your shadow energy, but it's like you, what's the word? Like again, with the destructiveness, you can just tend to like explode on other people, and it's not like you lack compassion, but it's like it's like you're tired of holding in your emotions. You're like, you know what, I'm tired of having to feel this way and like feeling it alone. Like it's just like kind of explosive, you know. So for tarot, this is what your shadow self has helped you to achieve, basically. So we have the Eight of Wands. Again, this doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of fire energy in this as well. So I feel like you guys are very passionate about what you do. Like when you go for something, you are very focused on it, and you have a very strong, I feel like you have a very strong sense of where to go, a strong, very, very strong, direction of where you want to go or where you want to be. And I feel like you do follow your passion and your soul purpose. And I'm seeing healing is also very important for you. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I feel like you have to do a lot of shadow work healing and, a lot of healing so you don't turn to this tower moment, this destructive energy where things kind of fall apart or you end up self-sabotaging for whatever reason. So, but with the Eight of Wands, I feel like this is kind of you reaching for the light almost. It's like, this is like me. Your shadow energy is like teaching you to reach towards the positive aspect, even if it's kind of hard to see, and your ego wants to just label things as good, bad, black, white. You have to force yourself to see things from a different perspective. So the Hierophant in reverse, this is telling me you guys aren't really a follower of society, or at least the rules society sets. I feel like you see the world in a different way. You see the world in a way where you don't want to feel constricted by what society says. So I feel like this is the type of people, you guys are the type of person to go out and just get a rainbow costume and just dress in rainbow colors every single day just because you can, and you just want to do that, even if society is that's weird or that's not normal, whatever. You just you don't care. Knight of Swords, this is coming back. There's I'm getting all the signs in this group honestly, but with the Knight of Swords here, I'm getting you guys are very headstrong. Okay, so this is again Aries energy coming through, the stubbornness coming through. But I feel like when you're not in your shadow energy, the stubbornness of your shadow energy teaches you to stand strong in what you believe in when you're not in your shadow energy. So your shadow self is teaching you to stay true to what you believe in and stick by what you say, and to not follow by society's rules, especially with the Two of Swords. Some people may be some people may have something negative to say about what you're doing, or how you're moving, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you're going to follow your own path because you know what's right for you, and you're going to stick by what you say, and you're going to have to protect it if you have to against these people that are around you. Because I feel like you probably have noticed you're more wary of people who aren't like speaking negatively about you, like people that speak bad on your name type of energy. Like you're more discerning of those type of people because of your shadow energy and your shadow self. Like that's what you are learning. You're learning to deal with people like that. You're learning to stay true to who you are, because again, in your shadow energy, it can come off as very stubborn, maybe even arrogant for some people. Some people may say for you guys, but I feel like that stubbornness is teaching you to stand up for yourself and fight for what you believe in when you're not in the shadow energy. So thank you so much for watching group number 3. I really hope this reading resonated. It wasn't as long as the other groups, but actually, now that I think about it, I did forget one thing, and that's the archetypes. I'm going to make sure I do that. So, not the end, guys. Sorry. So, lastly, I have the archetypes, and this is going to basically tell me I have 13 different shadow self archetypes. So, this is going to tell me what your archetype for your shadow self might be. Okay. So, for group number 3, what is their shadow self archetype? Okay, I have a lot come out. So I don't know if I'm going to pull out all of these. I'm probably just going to read off the ones that come out the most, because we have a lot of ones that just like came out. So we have immature shadow. So this kind of goes back to the stubbornness I'm seeing. Like you guys might be considered stubborn in your shadow energy. Cold doesn't surprise me. Again, with that destructive energy, you guys have a lot to feel, so you have a lot to say when you're feeling bad, or cold again doesn't surprise me. I'm not gonna be surprised if wrathful comes out. Immature again. Okay, we have a lot of doubles here. And neurotic. You guys may resonate with some of them, but not all of them, just so you know. Just take the ones that resonate, leave what doesn't. Untrustworthy, cynical. Doesn't surprise me with that sword energy, especially my air signs. I know y'all are snappy. Egotistical, I can see that, especially with the stubbornness. I can see how arrogance can come into play with that. Perverted. Ooh, I don't feel like that's interesting. Perverted again. Wow. I'm gonna read them all at the end, but I'm just taking them all out so you guys can see first. So lastly is emotionally unstable. Listen, I promise you, that probably doesn't surprise any of y'all either, because I feel like most of y'all resonate with that shadow. So you guys have a lot of shadows, so I'm gonna read off the order that it's written in. So first we have the egotistical shadow, which is arrogant, egocentric, pompous, inconsiderate, self-indulgent, narcissist, and has excessive pride. The neurotic shadow is paranoid, obsessive, suspicious, finicky, demanding, compulsive behavior. The untrustworthy shadow is secretive, impulsive, frivolous, irresponsible, deceitful, and unreliable. The emotionally unstable shadow is moody, melodramatic, weepy, over-emotional, impulsive, and changeable. The cynical shadow is negative, overcritical, patronizing, resentful, and cantankerous. I'm surprised you guys did not get the wrathful shadow, but everything happens for a reason. So the cold shadow is emotionally detached, distant, indifferent, uncaring, unexcited. The perverted shadow is masochistic. I don't know how to say that right. I can't even read what this says. Something sadistic, vulgar, and libidin. I don't know why I'm writing words I don't know how to use. So lastly is the immature shadow, which is childish, illogical, simple-minded, and vacuous. Okay, guys, that was all I got for this group. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. My name is Kay, and hopefully I can catch you at the end of this video. Peace. Peace, guys. Hello. If you chose pile number 4 with the green fluorite, this is going to be a reading for who is your shadow self and what is your shadow self teaching you, okay? So first I'm going to pull these tarot, and it's going to tell me who your shadow self is and give me an idea of who you are. So Mother of Cups, so that's like the Queen of Cups. Ace of Wands, beautiful. The 8 of Swords. and the Three of Wands. So there's a lot of wand and sword energy here, so I'm probably dealing with some fire signs, some air signs, and water signs I'm seeing, but that's just extra confirmation for whoever needs it. So with the Mother of Cups here, I feel like in your shadow energy, this is kind of weird, okay? Because I feel like your shadow energy isn't necessarily coming through, but it's more of like what your shadow self or what your shadow side teaches you. So I feel like your shadow energy teaches you to be more compassionate and to be more open and receptive to people, because I feel like even in the darkness, you guys still have a sense of compassion for others, which is kind of, it's not rare, but you know, when people are like in their feelings, they usually don't care about anyone else. But I feel like you guys like still have a very strong, deep caring for people, even if they're like do you wrong. So I feel like in your shadow energy, you may care for people who may not necessarily be good for you. And with the Ace of Wands here, I'm also seeing like even in your shadow energy, like that, your shadow energy helps you to see the truth and find light and illumination through whatever you go through. So like, I feel like in your shadow energy, it's kind of like when you figure out like, wow, this is a toxic person I'm dealing with, or this person is no good for me. Or you start to notice the truth more in your shadow energy. So I feel like with the Ace of Wands, your shadow self may be like very connected. I feel like your shadow self is just very connected to you and helping you transform. I feel like your shadow self is trying to help you transform, especially because I feel like you guys are probably around people who don't, I feel like a majority of you are surrounded by people, or you notice like throughout your life, you get a lot of people that like have something bad to say about what you're doing. I'm seeing like people that are just jealous of you for no reason, or they're just jealous of the growth you're going through, or you know, they just take it as a threat. Or I'm even seeing like family members for some of you are like threatened by your growth basically. And I feel like this kind of shadow energy that you go through teaches you to transform and to become more of your true authentic self, and to find this spark of hope and to find this illumination. So your shadow self really helps you find the light. So, and with the Three of Wands, I'm seeing you guys are very like, what's the word? I feel like you guys really do work with your shadow energy a lot, even if you don't realize it. Like you really do work with the shadow aspect of yourself, and I'm not even sure if you guys are really aware of it. Like I feel like you guys have probably done a lot of shadow work in this pile, and if not, it's very, very, very important for you. It's important for everyone, but this group specifically, I feel like your shadow self, like once you do shadow work and you get past all of that, you're gonna start to see your true authentic self. You're gonna start to really transform. So we also have guidance. So again, this doesn't surprise me. I feel like you guys are very, very divinely guided. Like I'm seeing, like, I feel like this group is very like protected by angels specifically. We have change. Again, like it really helps you to see the truth, like to see the cycles you're in, to see like you're giving too much or taking too much. No, I'm saying you guys are very, like, you guys just give a lot. You guys are givers, okay? Moment to moment, teaching you to be more present, teaching you to live each moment and like live each moment presently, because focusing on the future or the past isn't going to help. And then sharing. Again, this is telling me you guys are very giving. You guys are very like motherly energy, especially with the Mother of Cups. Like both of these cards are like, these are giving women, like, or you don't even have to be a woman, but you know, that giving like female energy. Like you guys are just very like giving, very nurturing, very caring for people. And I feel like even in your shadow energy, you try to still show people you care about them and you love them. You know, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm angry, so F you, you know, like you guys aren't like that. You guys are still like very compassionate and open and caring and loving. And I feel like there's a part of you that wants to shut people out when you're in that shadow energy, but like no matter what, there's still like that caring aspect of you. And I feel like sometimes you hate that. Like you hate that you care so much. You're like, why do I care so much? Why do I have to have all of these feelings? But in reality, these feelings help you understand yourself better. Again, like with the Ace of Wands, like your feelings help you find illumination, because you do feel a lot. Again, like strong empath energy in this group. So you guys, your shadow energy is teaching you to not give so much to others. So it's helping you to, I'm sorry. Yeah, so your shadow self is basically helping you to realize like maybe you're giving too much to someone, or you're giving too much of your time or energy to a certain situation or certain people. So how to integrate your shadow self. So I'm seeing, to integrate your shadow self, you guys have to be more free in your life. You have to kind of follow your own truth, follow your own light and your own passion / purpose. I'm seeing like you guys probably need to like take breaks, you know, go out and isolate yourself for a little minute so you can like get yourself together if you feel your shadow energy surfacing. With the Three of Cups, I'm seeing you guys also like connect with people very easily. Like you bring people together, and when you do, people love it. Like I'm seeing like you guys hosting parties, being like the event hoster, just the type of person that people go to when they want to like go to a party or they're looking for an event to go to. Like I'm seeing you guys are like that motherly energy that people confide in. So I feel like you go through these periods, your shadow periods, in order to like can be able to connect with others more. It helps you to be more compassionate and open, because I feel like compassion is really strongly a part of your life purpose, or at least like just a strong aspect of who you are. So like your shadow energy just teaches you to accept it and like completely accept who you are, wholly, fully, completely. So in the Ace of Cups, I'm seeing again, you guys have that emotional, this is a lot of water sign energy, Scorpio, Cancers, Pisces, and a lot of air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But Six of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Cups are telling me that you guys also need to kind of be willing to express yourself in your shadow energy, even if it's really difficult. I'm seeing like when you guys like express how you feel, it helps you to understand yourself more, even if what you're saying isn't making sense to someone you're telling it to. You could even like get a journal or a diary or something that could help. But I'm seeing like the more you express your emotions and like write it down or something, so you can like see it like from a different perspective, or see it in a different way besides like, you know, in your head, it's going to help you like understand your emotions better, help you understand yourself better, help you understand others better too. And the Six of Swords in reverse, I'm seeing you guys kind of might find a hard time balancing with communication with others. So I feel like sometimes you might feel like you communicate negatively. Actually, no. It's like you guys kind of have a hard time finding balance between how you communicate with people. So you may like close yourself off in your shadow energy, but the universe, or at least your shadow self, in order to integrate it, you have to be more compassionate and open towards people that are, you know, here to help you, not people that are in this energy where they're attacking you or stunting your growth or telling you you're not good enough to grow, or whatever the case may be. So the traits that your shadow self is helping you to evolve is the Angel of Expectation. I am always expecting the best of myself. So this is telling me like your shadow self is just helping you be the best version of yourself. And the Angel of Kindness doesn't surprise me. Again, you guys are very compassionate and kind, but it's because you've been through hell, okay? So it says, I am a free and powerful source of life and kindness. The Angel of Birth, I am being born each moment to the newness in my life, which relates to the moment part. Like you guys are learning to be more present and to kind of like see each moment as if it's a new moment you're experiencing. The Angel of Courage, my heart is open and full of courage. So it's also teaching you to be brave and to kind of not allow your emotions to dictate who you are or how you feel about a certain thing or a certain way. Like to find balance with how you feel, like in that emotional state, and then how you feel when you're actually at peace and when you're in the love energy, accepting energy. Like, because that's two different energies. You're going to make different decisions when you're feeling super sad and when you're feeling super happy. But you have to find a balance in order to make logical decisions that are actually in alignment with who you are and who you want to be, or not even who you want to be, but who you are. So lastly, I have 13 archetypes in this bowl. I have like a lot of sticky notes with the different archetypes. So I'm just going to pull out some to see what archetypes your shadow self may be. There's 13 different archetypes, and I'm going to read it and also have it up on the screen so you guys can see. So what is group number 4's shadow self archetype? What is their closely related archetype that relates to their shadow self? Okay, a lot are coming out for each of these groups. Okay, so let's see. We have cold. Doesn't surprise me, because again, like when you guys are very kind and compassionate, it's because you've been on the other side of the spectrum. So emotionally unstable, shocker, not at all. Especially my water signs. I'm sorry about that sound I made. I have the hiccups. Immature, This is like coming out for most of them. I feel like a lot of shadow energies tend to be immature. So controlling. So you might be a little bit more demanding in your shadow energy. You want to know everything, but it's like you don't have to know everything. Untrustworthy. Perverted. Cowardly. Again, your shadow self is helping you develop courage, so it doesn't surprise me that the cowardly archetype came out. Cynical. Glib. You guys got a lot. Jeez. Perverted again. And egotistical. So I'm going to go ahead and read the different ones. So egotistical shadow is arrogant, egocentric, pompous, inconsiderate, self-indulgent, narcissistic, and has excessive pride. The untrustworthy shadow is secretive, impulsive, frivolous, irresponsible, deceitful, and unreliable. The emotionally unstable shadow is moody, melodramatic, weepy, over-emotional, impulsive, and changeable. The controlling shadow is suspicious, jealous, possessive, bossy, and obsessive. The cynical shadow is negative, overcritical, patronizing, resentful, and cantankerous. You didn't get that one. The glib shadow is superficial, cunning, sly, crafty, inconsistent. And the cold shadow is emotionally detached, distant, indifferent, uncaring, unexcited. The perverted shadow is masochistic, lewd, sadistic, vulgar, and libidinous. Libidin? I don't know if that's a word. So, and then the last two, the immature shadow is childish, illogical, simple-minded, ambiguous, and the cowardly shadow is weak-willed, passive, timid, and fearful. Okay, guys, I really hope that reading resonated, as well as the archetypes. Again, all of the archetypes may not resonate for you. This is a general reading. So take the archetypes that resonate, leave the archetypes that don't, okay? Thank you so much for watching group number 4. If the reading resonated, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Remember, we are learning to let go and let flow. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will hopefully catch you at the end of this video. Peace. Peace, guys. So if you chose the Mookite here, this is going to be your reading on who is your shadow self and what is it trying to teach you, okay? So first I'm going to pull some tarot, and it's going to tell me who your shadow self is. So we have the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Cups. I'm going to show you guys the cards. The Strength card, beautiful. My Leo's coming through. There's a lot of fire energy, like really coming through. So, and then we have the 6 of Wands. Wow. So your shadow self. So I'm seeing your shadow self is, when you're in your shadow energy, you will notice that your shadow self is very, what's the word? Your shadow is like the party pooper in your life, okay? Like, that's what I'm seeing. Like, the shadow self, your shadow energy, you're kind of like your own party pooper, basically. Like, you kind of ruin your own mood type of thing. Like, I feel like you guys are very hard on yourself. So I'm seeing like my Virgos coming through in this group. But I feel like in your shadow energy, you kind of like poop on your own parade kind of thing. Like, so I feel like that might also lead to your self-sabotage. So I feel like in your shadow energy, you probably self-sabotage, but of course you're not aware of it. And I think it's because you're like in your shadow energy, you aren't able to see your strength and the true power you have. So you might even accidentally manifest like bad, negative situations into your life because you're like in a negative mindset, and you might like linger onto it too much, you know. So in your shadow energy, you might feel a lack of stability. You might feel like everything in your life is falling apart. Like you can't do it. You can't go on. Like you're just like, I'm so weak. I'm so this. I'm so that. Like you're just kind of pooping on yourself, basically. So, yeah. So we're going to see what your shadow self is basically teaching you. So first we have sorrow, which doesn't surprise me because again, you guys are kind of like pooping on your own party. You might like go into depressive episodes or just like, you know, just episodes where you're just extremely emotional, crying, you know, like I'm saying, like, you know how Sims, like when they're sad, they cry in their bed until they're not sad anymore. Like that's kind of how you guys are. And participation, I'm seeing you guys may kind of lack participating qualities in your shadow energy. Like you kind of don't want to talk to anyone about it, or you don't really want to be around people in your shadow energy. Like you just want to be in solitude. And I feel like your shadow energy teaches you to like open yourself up more, especially in your shadow energy, because you are very strong. It's just sometimes you're unable to see it, especially in your shadow energy. And with the sorrow card, like it's teaching you like it's okay to be it's okay to be sad, it's okay to like experience these emotions, but you gotta let it go. You gotta let life flow through you. You don't hold on to sadness, you allow it to flow through you. With playfulness, I'm seeing your shadow self also teaches you to be more playful, especially like when you're not in your shadow energy, and to enjoy life more, because you know not every moment's going to be happy and nice and great and awesome. Like you're going to go through periods of sadness and sorrow, you know, and your shadow self is just teaching you to appreciate the happier moments more, because when you are in your shadow energy you can be really depressed, really sad, you know, just in the pooping you on your own party. And conditioning, I'm seeing that a lot of your shadow energy probably is from conditioning. So like as a child, you're just conditioned to believe things. So when you believe otherwise, you might kind of over criticize yourself for it. You might be a little bit because again, there's a lot of like lion imagery in here, so my Leos are really coming through. But again, like lions may be like your spirit animal or spirit guide. If it is, it's really coming through. And I feel like it's like telling your shadow self is basically teaching you that you're not going to fit in. You don't fit in, you're not going to fit in, and that's okay. All right. Like you're not a sheep, you're not a robot, you're not a follower like everyone else. And that's okay. Because I feel like in your shadow energy, you might feel like it's not okay to be the way you are. You're like, why am I like this? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I like this? But it's like, it's teaching you that you're not like everyone else. And that's your power. That is your gift, you know? So your shadow self is helping you to develop, okay, the angel of beauty. I see beauty in the mirror of my life. So again, it teaches you to see the beauty in yourself and others and in life. The angel of balance. I trust my inner balance and I allow changes to happen. So I feel like this is more of you stepping into an energy of being accepting of change instead of fearing it, because again, fear is going to attract fearful change. So it's also teaching you to find more balance in your life and to balance your emotions, and learning you don't have to like be so attached to your emotions and your sorrow and your sadness. You can feel it and let it go. The angel of humor, which goes back to the playfulness card. You guys are just learning to like be free and have more fun, and to like enjoy life more, enjoy life even more when you're not feeling sad, because you know how it feels to be in this shadow energy. In the angel of order, my outer life reflects my inner order. So I feel like it's also teaching you to find balance with your thoughts as well, because you guys are manifesting things at a rapid rate. So when you focus on the negative aspect of a situation, you're just allowing space for more negative energy to enter as a result of that. So it's like you're finding balance within yourself as well. So how to integrate your shadow self. King of Cups. So first of all, you guys need to accept yourself for who you are completely, fully, and truly, especially if you are like a water sign or have water heavy in your chart. Like can't even say it, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. You guys have to be like open to the fact, like you guys are very emotional, you're very sensitive, you know, you're empaths, you're very sensitive people, and it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to feel emotions, because the most sensitive people are also the most compassionate people. So you guys have a lot of care for others, you have a lot of feelings, and that's okay. So in order to integrate your shadow self and that feeling like you're lacking stability, because I feel like in your shadow energy you really feel like you lack stability, and it causes you sorrow. It could even be like material stability, like you feel like you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough clothes, or you don't have enough of something. But you have to realize like everything you have is good enough, and you have everything you need when you need it, and you're going to attract more of the playfulness energy and the happier energies, positive energies into your life. So the Knight of Cups in reverse. I feel like you guys have to learn to I'm seeing be discerning of people as well, because not everyone has good intentions. I'm seeing especially in love, you guys might have like a lot of I don't want to even say suitors. You could, for some of you, it's suitors, but just people in your life who don't have the best intentions for you. And I feel like in your shadow energy, you kind of go for these Knight of Cups, but it's like you could go for a King of Cups. It's like you are a Queen of Cups, okay? But it's like you're going after a Knight when you could have a King. So don't, in your shadow energy, don't think that you need a Knight of Cups in order to like get out of that energy. Like you have to be able to willing to participate with people that are like-minded and understand what you're going through and help you get through it and make you feel better after a conversation instead of make you feel worse. This is more of like connecting with people you already know rather than looking for new people in your life. And then with the World here, I'm seeing you guys, in order to integrate it, you have to be more willing to change the way you see the world, change your perspective of the world and how you see it, and be willing for positive changes. Because I feel like when you focus on the fearful aspect of life, when you focus on the negative aspect and the bad changes that can happen, you're increasing the chance that a bad change or a fearful change is going to happen in your life, simply because that is what your focus is on, and that is what your belief system or your subconscious belief system is, because you're focused so much on negativity. So it's kind of like to integrate your shadow self and to heal it, you have to be willing to change your perspective of the world in your shadow energy. So when your shadow self is saying the world is crappy, we suck, everything sucks, you have to say, you know what, everything doesn't suck. I'm glad that I have a bed to cry on. I have a house to sit in. You know, just it's the little stuff that counts. And then the Two of Wands in reverse, I feel like you guys might self-sabotage in your shadow energy. And to step out of that and to integrate and heal your shadow energy, when you do that, you have to be willing to not close yourself off to new opportunities because of your shadow self. So I feel like you guys might just want to isolate yourself completely, not talk to anyone. And I feel like in your shadow energy, you guys should like actually talk to people more, like connect with others more, let people know how you feel. Make sure you just feel valued for how you feel. Like you're not just undervaluing how you feel or what you're going through, basically, because I feel like you can miss opportunities in your shadow energy if you remain in it and you kind of allow your sadness or your sorrow to completely consume you. You might be missing out on opportunities or ways to connect with others, or even an opportunity to find more happiness or things to be grateful for in your life. Okay, so lastly, I have the different archetypes in this bowl. There are about 13 different archetypes, and I have like 5 of each archetype in this bowl. So we're going to see what archetypes come out for this group, and I would not be surprised if the overly emotional one came out. I'm just saying. So let's see what shadow archetype is for group number 5. What shadow archetypes resonate for this group? Okay, I'm having a lot come out here, so we're going to pull all of these out. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. We've got cynical, okay. Immature, I'm pretty sure that the immature archetype came out for like all of the groups too. So we have glib. We also have wrathful. That's actually surprising to me for this group, because you guys are very emotional, but I feel like you guys are more like sad emotional. Like you're kind of like, I can see how the wrathful can come in, because again, like when you feel extreme sadness, it can cause anger or, you know, other things to come up. The cold archetype, again, wrathful again. And you guys may not resonate for all of these archetypes. Just take the ones that resonate and leave the ones that don't. We have cynical again. We have neurotic. It doesn't surprise me. Controlling. You guys want to control how life is going to go for you guys, apparently. Rigid. This is the first group that has the rigid shadow, and that actually makes sense for me, because again, I was saying you guys kind of isolate yourself a lot, and you just like don't want to move. Like you just want to chill in your home or your room and just lock yourself up, you know. And then the glib shadow again. So where's my notebook? Okay, here it is. So we're gonna see, I'm gonna read the different archetypes, put it up on the screen so you guys can see as well. I think I flipped it, messed it up. Okay, so the neurotic shadow is paranoid, obsessive, suspicious, finicky, demanding, compulsive, and compulsive. And we have the controlling shadow is suspicious, jealous, possessive, bossy, and obsessive. The cynical shadow is negative, overcritical, patronizing, resentful, and cantankerous. Doesn't surprise me. The wrathful shadow is ruthless, vengeful, bitchy, quick-tempered, and quarrelsome. The rigid shadow is uptight, intolerant, uncompromising again with the, you guys need to like open up more, and narrow-minded. Let's see, the glib shadow is superficial, cunning, sly, crafty, and inconsistent. The cold shadow is emotionally detached, distant, indifferent, uncaring, unexcited. And the immature shadow is childish, illogical, simple-minded, and vacuous. Okay, guys, this was a very short reading for this group, but again, everything happens for a reason. So I really hope this resonated. If it did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. My name is Kay, and hopefully I can catch you at the end of this video, which is literally now. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. Remember, you guys can book a private reading with me. All of the information is in my description box. Just send me an email if you would be interested. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my channel. Remember, share this video with someone who you think the message may resonate with. Shadow work is very, very important to me, and I might go into shadow work on a very like separate video, because shadow work is like, I really enjoy talking about shadow work because it's really important. Okay, but yeah, so I think that's all for today. That's all the announcements I have. Yes, so again, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel, and remember, we're learning to let go and let flow. Okay guys, thank you so much. Peace.